Hey, everybody. Listen, welcome back. Thanks for stopping through and hanging out with me. I'm here for my recap on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Last week's episode was amazing. It was really good. Love and Marriage Huntsville has really become my almost my number one reality TV show that's on right now. I'm absolutely loving it. And the real reason why I'm loving it is because I feel like they're giving us so much authentic material, right? So kind of I'm looking because my glasses I just cleaned them and they seem like they're still a little spotty, right? But anyway, before I get into my Love and Marriage Huntsville recap, let's talk about how Love and Marriage DC is actually coming back. And I'm a little, hey, everybody, I see y'all out there. Thank you for coming through and hanging out with me. And don't forget, hit that like button as you come in the building. Before, hey, Candy, hey, Flip, hey, everybody. Love and Marriage DC is coming back. And I'm actually shocked, right? I'm actually shocked because Love and Marriage DC, I watched the whole season because I kind of have a habit of once I start to watch something, I like to see the final destination, right? I like to see the end. Listen, guys, thank you so much. And thank you a whole lot to all of my members. Good stuff is coming. I'm just trying to work with a photographer and a videographer. So I'm having, a little trouble finding a good person that's a reasonable price, but I'm working on some things. Okay. So I'm coming through with some stuff shortly. So hang in there. So Love and Marriage DC, I hung in there because I just, once I started watching it, I was like, okay, I got to see how this thing pans out. I got to see how it kind of finishes off. And, I watched it from beginning to end and I was very disappointed in Monique. And I really did not think it was going to come back for a second season. But shockingly, it's coming back. And even more shocking, Monique has decided not to be a part of this cast. And I'm like, oh my God, whoa, right? Cannot believe that she decided not to be part of the cast. But I will say this. I don't know how Love and Marriage DC is going to survive without her. And it's not because I loved her so much that I think, that's why I don't think it's going to survive without her. I just don't think the other couples, pretty much they have enough in them to sustain like, doing Love and Marriage DC on its own. But time will tell. Hey, gang. Oh, you just retained. You returned from La La Land. Great warm weather. Lala, are you talking LA? Great weather, and you're relocating back home in July 2023. Lee, where are you from? Oh, thank you, Brenda. Anyway, the bougie auntie, you said not surprised at all. She could no longer blame that right. Well, that part right there, right? She can no longer blame the Real Housewives of Potomac editing for her behavior. I'm trying to tell you, okay. Yes, I didn't think it was coming back because it was trash.
Mm.
but, but unfortunately, once I start something, I finish it. Yes, Flip, I'm the same way. So I finished it only because I felt obligated to see the bitter end, to see how it ended, but was not impressed at all. But I'm gonna watch the first two episodes of the new one when it comes out, just to see what's going on, and to also see if winter is coming back. So we shall see. I just wonder. I love your hair, Royer.
Thank you. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. I'm gonna come over there and get a hair transplant. Okay,
Look, he's ready.
you're
He is
gonna donate.
ready.
Okay, you're gonna donate. Okay. So listen, this Love and Marriage Huntsville, I was really into it. It was touching, it was heartfelt. I mean, I'm loving it. Like I'm totally loving it 100%. PK Joseph, I was disappointed in Monique also. I lost interest in DC. Yeah, because it wasn't nothing. So Leon Strong, you said living in Ohio, LA, Chicago, Atlanta, and back home. Okay, all right.
Okay,
Just doing your
Ohio.
thing.
Yes, Ohio in the house.
All
What
right,
part of
Ohio
Ohio?
in the house.
Cincinnati here.
Wait, I heard that Joy and Clifton from Ready to Love has been filming for love. Yes, I saw that too, that they're filming for Love and Marriage DC. I don't know that couple because I stopped watching Ready to Love. After a while, I was just like, I felt like it was giving me the same. And I felt like a lot was staged. And so I was done with it. I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. Even though I love nephew Tommy, but I was just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. So maybe I'll get back into it again the next season, but I'm not sure. But we'll see what happens with Love and Marriage DC. So let's talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, which I really love, right? And so this whole vacation with Mel, Martell, and the family, I
Yes,
mean, just love
you
it.
gotta love
Just
it.
love it. Okay. Hey, Black Panthers. Thanks for being here. Yes.
Hey.
So I mean, I'm just loving it. And can I tell you that all of them favor each other? Martell's mom could literally be Melanie's mom. When
She
they was
could.
right, when they was all standing in the kitchen, I was like, she could really be Melanie's mom. And they got strong genes because all of their children are beautiful. And I promise you, I better not ever run into Melody or Martell with Sugar Mama because I'm taking her.
Ain't she
I,
adorable the way
she
she was
is.
clasping her hands together while they was praying? I said, look at
Oh my God, I love Sugar Mama. I cannot. I love Sugar Mama. She's so cute. And wait, when Martell Jr. was in that kitchen praying, what's the other little one name? And his sister gave him the side eye, like, okay, come on, we ready to eat.
listen, here you go. He felt the spirit and he
He
had to
felt
be
it
led in the way he was led, okay? He said, we will eat, but I got to be grateful and thankful for what I got right now, okay?
right now. You know what? Martell and Melody can write a book on co-parenting. They can write a book. What? They can write a book on co-parenting and they can write a book on parenting because
Hmm.
Martell and Melody are not like a couple that's older that's raising kids. I mean, what is
Right.
Melody in her
In her
30s?
early 30s, mid 30s, early mid 30s.
And this chick is doing the darn thing. I'm gonna give it
Doing
to
it.
both of them, right?
Yeah.
We gotta give credit where credit is due.
Yes.
Teaching those kids to pray. Um,
Yes.
Concerned about the kids having a healthy mindset, even though they're going through a divorce. I swear to goodness, every time I watch, yes, Boss Baby, somebody said, yes, I love her. Oh my God. Listen, all the kids are gorgeous, but it's something about Sugar
It's
Mama.
that
I want
sugar
to snatch
mama.
her up. Yes,
You know
yes,
what? Also for me, Diva, it's the respect. These
yes,
kids don't have respect,
yes,
and the yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir,
yeah.
the manners, you can really tell that both Martell and Melanie have really put in the work
Mm,
to see a good reflection of what they want their children to be. And the children are doing it. The work has been done.
the work has been
Unfortunately, it
done.
didn't go very well for the marriage, but for the family, the work has been done. It's been
The
done.
work has been done, and they could write a book, and the book will sell,
Yes.
and I will help promote that book because I'm telling you, when you got a couple that is the demise of done, right? And you're going to go through a roller coaster ride when you break up, but to come back on the good end and to show what they are showing, we got to give it up to Martell and Melody. I promise you we do. What?
We
And
did.
yes. So when he was praying, little mama gave him the side eye, like, dude, I want to eat. Okay. Like I want to eat. I love the fact that Melody brought that, the cook, the chef there. He it made good food. And what's his name? Here's the thing. I keep saying this about Martell, and I'm gonna stand by it. You can have some good qualities, and sometimes your bad qualities can override the good, but it doesn't mean that you're all bad, right? So he
Hmm.
struggled as a husband. But one thing I could say about Martell now too, he acknowledges his mistakes and he's clearly saying, I wish I would have done different. I mean,
What they say, Diva, you don't miss what you had until it's
mm,
gone. You don't miss the
it's-
water till your well run dry. That's what it
that
is.
part right there. But see, many will miss it but won't acknowledge it. You
Mm,
got to give it up. Not only is this man acknowledging it, he's acknowledging it in front of the world.
yeah.
And I don't think it's all a show to just get Melody back. I think it is his deep seated feelings. He really feels this way. God Willie, you are correct. Martell still wants Melody. He definitely
Mm.
does because he realized he messed up with a good thing. Yes.
And that's the thing. He messed up with the good thing, and he realizes that his life literally, you know how sometimes people say that your blessing is tied to people? His
Yes.
blessing was tied to Melanie, and he messed up his blessing trying to be tied to somebody else that didn't even get, you didn't even want. You didn't even want them.
Come
And you
on,
done
can
went
you
and
tell
messed
it
up your
now?
blessing. She literally, their life was made, and he went, one bad decision can ruin everything. And that's what happened. He let one bad decision that you continuously kept doing after you were given chance after chance after chance to mess up everything. So, but yes, I acknowledge him for his trying to, fix what he has done, for
Yes.
admitting what he has done,
Mm,
and still continuing to do the work to make the family work, and possibly maybe later on down the road, him and Mel getting back together, because I just want to see the family together. I just
you
want to.
know what? Okay, boy, yeah, you like my soul right there. Yes, yes, definitely my son. Okay, my second son. Oh my God, I'm telling you, every time I watch them, I want that for them, right?
It's just like they
Um,
belong together almost.
yes,
It's just too good. It's just
yeah,
too good.
it's just too good. And even when they went to the beach and just seeing them on the beach together with the kids and the way him and Melody, I swear to goodness, they was just meant to be. And when he showed Melody the pictures from their previous vacations,
Yes.
and
You he
he
just
messed up.
really he messed up. He
He
messed up
messed
big
up.
time. And
Yes.
I'm glad that he is able to look back though and really see how good he had it. Because like you said, Diva, some people can't acknowledge it. And then some people have never had the ability to reflect and really look back on how good they had it. And you can see he just trying to take them walks down memory lane, just trying to, puzzle piece something back together, even if it's not the marriage, just to have the family, on one accord. He trying, and I got
He
to give it
trying.
to him.
Okay, give it up, right? So here's the thing. Okay, so my argument is that if they got back together, he wouldn't change. Okay, so let's talk about this for 1.2 seconds, guys. Let's have a
Mhm.
conversation here. Do people can change, right?
Yes.
Don't you think that Martell and chat, y'all got to work with us here. Talk to us. Talk to me and Roy here. Don't
Stop.
you think that Martell, Flip said the door is closed. See, Flip, hold on a minute.
Dang, Mimi, can you give us a second?
Can you hold on? We trying here. We want to see black love. We want to see a couple get back together.
Yes.
Okay, don't start. We don't want them back together. Oh my God, we
Oh
want
my
to see black love.
gosh.
Okay, so here's my thing. Here's my thing. Let's talk. Let's talk, guys. Let's talk. So some people can't be faithful or loyal. Okay, see, okay, Dark Willie, hold
Oh my
on.
God.
Oh my God, see, Flip.
The people in Tennessee, Diva, we may have to. I
You
wasn't ready for
going to
this.
abort mission. Oh my God, Flip, see, Flip, don't do that. Don't do that. Listen, we're gonna have to abort mission. Okay, so hold on, guys. All I'm asking, love, black love, but love is not in Martell. Okay, y'all, hold on, guys. Did y'all not see the confessional where he almost tore up and broke down because he knew he messed up. He was like, he wished he would have hung in there longer. He wished he would have talked to her more. He wished he would have gave it time. Did y'all not connect with Martell in that moment? Oh,
No,
we're
they
not
turn us
winning,
up in these
Brady.
comments. We may have to move on.
I guess we got too late for that money.
That ship has sailed, and the next one has came in and went on as well.
Players do not change. Male deserve a man that will respect her, can match her dollar-wise, and be a good stepfather to her children. Okay, I guess we lost this fight. You know I hate losing, but I mean, please, Black folks, stop promoting dysfunctional relationships. Well, no, we acknowledge it was dysfunctional.
Yes.
But we feeling that he's
we
better
think he
now.
can be faithful. I really do think that and there is still more work to be done. So when I say that I want them back together, everybody, I'm not talking like next week, next year, 2 years from now, but later on down the road, once the kids have grown up and mature, maybe once Sugar Mama is around, maybe 9 or 10, we can look at something again.
Can Sugar Mama
now, Diva, now. Melanie gave a whole lot of chances, and Martell just kept on going. So we got to have, we got to allow Melanie to have her time. And I think, by the time Sugar Mama is 9 or 10, she's 2 now. So that's what, 8 years?
Oh my God. Come on.
Hopefully we can be engaged and get ready to march down the aisle by then.
Oh my God. So wait. High Bob said he was acting in that confessional. Come on, High Bob. I felt it. I felt it was real. He's a fake. Oh my God. I guess we got to move on because nobody.
Yeah,
I also saw where he stated he wouldn't get with coleslaw first. Guys, all I'm saying is I think the man has changed. Jesus himself would have to come down and
Fifi, you're supposed to be helping us.
I mean, okay, see, now you're doing that. Martell is low vibrational. See, you know what?
Oh my Lord.
I guess, okay. No, they don't need to get back together. Okay, it's a wrap. I tried, Roy. I felt Martell, if you listening, I know you're not, but Martell, if you listening, we tried. We was feeling you. We understand that a brother could change. We know that you miss your family, Martell. We know that you want to be in that household with Melody, Sugar Mama, and Martell Jr. and all the kids. I'm going for you, Martell. I feel like you wouldn't cheat again. And every now and then, the only other thing is if they get together now, Roy, Melody would have to accept, what's little man's name? What's the other one's name?
Mm-hmm.
From Arion.
Mm-hmm.
He would have to accept little man, and he would have to come over, and then he would be at the table too, talking about memories in Florida.
Well, if Rashida and Kirk can do it, they can do it. Rashida and Kirk made it through it, so Melanie
is that his real name, Knox?
The child?
Yeah.
I do not.
Okay, I don't know either. Mm-mm. Okay, but High said, but Diva, he cheated for 5 years and then some. I know, but you know why he never learned a lesson? Because she never fully left. And he was having his cake and eating it too, right? Mm-hmm. So I think
not that this is Melanie's fault. We're not saying that at all. We're not saying that.
Right. We're not saying that. So now that, he definitely doesn't have his cake and eating it too, he's realizing that Melody was enough, that he should have tried harder. But I guess y'all not into forgiveness. We not forgiving tonight. I guess his name is Knox. Okay. I guess we not forgiving tonight. It's a wrap. Okay. So Curve says, see now, not only are you trying to get them back together, now you want Melody to invite Knox baby on the trip. No way, today or tomorrow. # too soon. Okay. So we're here. I tried to have what do you call it? Get back together here. I tried to
Yeah.
do Black Love, but nobody's feeling Black Love tonight. Okay, so we got to move
No.
on. Okay, all right. So Martell invited Tisha and Marsau, right? Because they was happened to be in the neighborhood, and he invited them over. Before we get into, because I think the invite ended up going well, right? No forgiveness tonight, Lorraine said. All right, Lorraine, I got it. I'm emotional about it, but I got it. Okay. You know, he invited Marsau and Tisha over, right? And before we get into how it worked out once they got here, let's talk about, can you just be inviting people and not telling the host? Because that seems to be a thing. Okay, Destiny did it to Stormy, you know, just got somebody showing up. Now Martell is doing it. He got invited on this trip. He didn't have to come out of pocket for this trip. And he just told, hey, Marcel and Tisha, y'all in town? Come on over. Was that cool for you?
No. It was giving very much production is trying to get Tisha and Melanie back on one accord so that we can
Mm,
get the group back together is what it was giving
okay.
me. That's just what I was receiving because in my opinion, Melanie was not, first of all, she was thrown off completely. And secondly, she didn't seem very receptive to really be trying to, make something connect. So it, it was a no for me. I don't feel like that Tisha and Melanie are in a place where we can try to mend that relationship, maybe, if you
Mhm.
want to say. I feel like too much has been done. Too much has been done. And not even on Letitia's fault, but because of Miss Wanda, you have to bear the brunt of what you allow to happen.
You know, I lose like after the thing passes me, I forget all about it. And you're right, Miss Wanda has seen too much. And but you know what though? Even though I think yes, it's not cool. You don't just be inviting people, and this supposed to be our trip with the kids, and me and you just getting our life back together and figuring out our thing. And now you want to call these two people over here that I am not even good with. That's problematic. But I will say this, it ended up being a very nice thing.
Yeah.
Jamaica Jakim said Melody was tolerated Tisa. She was, but you know what? That whole scene and everything that happened at that house, it was really cute. And that's what got me saying I want Mel and Martell back together because when they played the couples game, I thought it was fun. I thought, yes, the game was fun, wasn't it? Thank you, Sin. Okay, can we get some connection here? The game was fun. I thought it was cute, and it again showed me, you know, the brighter side of Mel and Martell and why they and how they got together in the first place and had these beautiful children together, right? And then when Tisa and Marsau swapped spots and they got in the hot seat, I thought it was nice also. What did you think about the game, Royer?
I love the game. That was very fun. I felt like it was a great icebreaker because you could
Yes,
definitely still feel the tension in the scene. So it was a
yes,
great icebreaker. I love that Melanie was able to kind of come out, and just, be herself, have that fun. Um, I want the Scotts and Melanie and Martell to be back to get back on a cordial relationship so that we can kind of bring the show full circle since we're coming to the end. But I felt like the game was hilarious. I love the fact that even still, though they're divorced, that you can still see the chemistry and how
yes,
they work together parenting wise with
yes.
Martell and Melanie. It was just amazing. Nothing new with Tisha and yeah,
Marcel.
yeah. I mean, Tisha does everything. We already know this, so it was kind of pointless to even playing the game. It was horrible, and,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
hope that Marcel kind of sees you need to step up and do some more because if Martell can do it, it's no excuse. As misogynistic as he is, come on
Yes,
now.
that is true, right? So High Vibe said pretty much we're hopeless romantics and we need to get over it. Okay. She talking about you and I.
I
Okay. Um
guess.
the,
I guess.
yeah, the game was a really cute idea. And like Ray has said, it was, you know, the icebreaker because it was a little bit of tension, right? Um Oh, send from the. She said, "I want to be sugar mama nanny ASAP." I know. Listen, we can share the duties, okay? I want to be her nanny too. So the game was cute, and then Tisha and Melody had a separate conversation, and then Martell and Marsau had a separate conversation. And let me tell you this too about Martell. We didn't really get to know the real him because all of his shenanigans kind of overshadowed us really getting to know who he was. Because to be truthfully honest, when they came on the show, they was having marital problems already, right? So all we got to really see between Melody and Martell was the breakdown of their marriage, right? Because when they
Mm-hmm.
came on from the onset, it was issues that they was trying to cover up, and it just spilled
Yeah.
out and spilled over. So with that being said,
So let me
Martell,
ask you this, Diva, before you go on.
yes,
I'm sorry. Do
no,
you
it's okay.
think if the rumors hadn't have got out, that Martell and Melanie would still be together today?
100%. I really do. I feel like it's a Wendy Williams type of situation. If it would,
Yes.
yep, if it would have been kept under wraps, I would be cool with it. But if you're gonna embarrass me and everybody's gonna know, then I got no choice but to go. Even though Melanie puts up a hard exterior, deep down you can tell that she truly still loves Martell. You
Hmm.
saw it on the beach. And listen, it was her husband of 14 years. And people can do some horrible things to you, but you can still love them, even though they did those horrible things to you. You really have to kind of put yourself through rehab to stop loving them the way that you love them. Because just because they did something terrible, your heart doesn't stop like that and be like, oh, I hate them now. You hate everything
Exactly.
they did, but you can still be in love with the person. Somebody says she didn't love what he did. Thank you. My argument is she didn't love what he did, but she still loved
But she
him.
loves him. Hmm.
Yeah.
Curtis said, can you redrop the link? There's something wrong with the first one, I guess. I don't
Oh, it
know.
is? Okay, let me redrop it. Okay, let me.
But yes, and I asked that, Diva, because I feel like, and I could be very wrong, so y'all correct me if I am, but I feel like he was cheating prior to the show. And I feel like she knew that he was cheating prior to the show. So
100%.
it wasn't.
100%. 100%. Curves, dropped the link. I had a feeling something was wrong with that link.
Yeah,
Um,
the first one that you did, yeah, it was something wrong with it, but I caught the second one that you posted.
okay. So yeah, I'm gonna put it there. Yeah, I dropped it. Okay. So yeah, I wonder if I could unpin that so that nobody else will all right, we'll just go on. If somebody wants it, they could tell me. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I really do feel oh, you said Melody said that. Yeah, she so I do feel, I wholeheartedly feel that for sure she would
Hmm.
still be with him. Hey, okay, you can put your avatar back on. I'll bring you up. um, so I just, it's heart wrenching to me, but hey Robin. Do you want to leave? You can put your avatar up if you want. If you want to stay, you can. I'm gonna bring you up. So hey, what's going on? So I just, it's heart wrenching to me, but
Okay.
hey Robin. Do you want to leave? You can put your avatar up if you want. If you want to stay, you can. I'm gonna bring.
Okay.
Okay. Oh wait. Okay, H, are you there?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I've been in. Sorry. Firstly, let me say I'm from the UK. So good morning, Auntie Wagwan Kozi.
Ah, good
Good
morning. Good morning.
morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Diva, I've been in the chat as my argument is, and basically No, we love black love black love, but love is not in Martell. He's after the money, and Melody got that bag. She made the money. She looked after the kids. She gave him a status, and that's all. That's all he's missing in life. He doesn't miss her as in he wants to love and respect and cherish her. He misses her as in what she does for his life. So as much as we all love black love, I can't ride with you on this one, Auntie. So no, them two can't get back together.
Okay, H. Now, I never looked at it from that standpoint, but that's a good. I like that. Okay.
Well, you see, I'm glad that you can see what it is that I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I didn't think about that because he's got everything else other than the money. So, okay.
They loving you, Ace. They saying he's missing the benefit. Yeah. Wait.
Sorry.
Don Willie said yes, H. He's dying because he missed the prosperity train ride. Oh my goodness.
Right.
So
Wow.
wait, so H, you're not connecting. You didn't feel his heart.
His what?
His heart. His heart.
Huh? Has he got one of those?
Oh my.
Come on, let's be serious for a second, Auntie. Look at what he did to his wife, and you want to come and tell me about his heart? No,
I guess we got to go get our glasses checked at Lens Craft.
You gotta do something. You've got to do something.
Man.
Okay, so H, let me ask you this: do you think? Hi, bye, telling me I need to quit. Listen,
no, don't go that far. Don't go that far.
Oh no! Listen, do you think people can change?
People can, yes, people can change, but at the end of the day, they need to have the right motivation to do that. So, if you're gonna ask the question, can people change? The question I would have to ask you is, has Martell changed?
Oh, you came through. You coming through from the UK tonight?
Martell hasn't changed.
H is saying Martell can change his behavior.
Go ahead, Robin.
I say H sounds like she's saying Martell can change his behavior, and let's see how long that lasts. We don't know if we can change the core of who he is. Is that right, Miss H?
Okay. Yeah, I would agree with that one. I would agree with that. At the end of the day, if Coleslaw had the status and was making the money that Melody was, he wouldn't have no problems. But I remember when he sat there on the reunion and Carlos King must have asked him, so if you'd have met this woman first, would you have been with her? And he sat there silent, trying to make Melody feel like crap.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Right? So I can't feel sorry for him. And you know, Melody, God said go, so girl, run. She didn't just go, she ran.
Right. Okay. So this is my last question, and I'm gonna let it go because y'all beat me down. Okay. But do you think that when you have a first breakup, right? Of course, y'all both are angry at each other in the situation, so y'all gonna throw shots. So he was being challenged and he was trying to be mean to Melody at that moment. But do you not think after being in those streets for a while and him seeing that nobody is measuring up to Melody, that he doesn't just care about the money, he really misses his family, the 4 kids, the traditions that Melody, has and does with the kids. And what's her name? I'm gonna call her Ariane. Ariane is who she is, right? But she's no Melody. And, so she can't build those traditions and those foundations because that's not how she's built. So do you think that once he realized all that, he was like, I really should have tried harder. I really shouldn't step down on my wife?
Well, hold on a second. He was building businesses with his wife, correct?
Yes.
And he had to turn around and buy Coleslaw a car, right?
Well, all right, H. Go ahead. I'm
So,
listening.
you know, whoever coleslaw is and whatever she can and cannot do, he knew that while he was cheating.
Well, all right. You breaking it down. I get it.
I don't, like I said, I really don't feel sorry for him. And after watching that episode, he hasn't changed. How, you know, it's a family holiday. The mothers are there, the kids are there, and you just invite people along on your family holiday. Why didn't he go over to the Scots? Or
Yeah.
was he not invited?
Listen. I got no more steam for this. I tried, Martell. Martell.
So
Wherever you at, I tried. Okay, your auntie, your mama, whatever you want to look at me as, I tried. I tried to help you. Martell, I feel you. I feel you. But the people are saying no. You're a fraud. You're full of it. You know, Robin, you're in the building. What do you want to add to this conversation?
Well, you know, I have to start by saying that I was on the phone with a family crisis before this, but I was watching you and Roy Air crack up. And I said, I don't know what they're talking about, but let me in. Let me in. Guys, just looking at you, pure joy.
Oh, thank you.
And poor Martell. And this is, when I say poor Martell, I don't mean in a necessarily empathetic or sympathetic way. I say poor as in bless his heart, poor. Because this man now sees, and he even pretty much said it on this show, I really messed up.
Yeah.
I'm now able to see what I had.
Yes.
And the thing is, what was so clear to me is that he and Mel, they share the concept and the value of their family.
Yes.
It's so deep and abiding. And it both broke my heart and made me happy at the same time.
Yes.
I just, that dumb Martell. What an
yes.
idiot.
That's what me and Roy are trying to say. Yes.
Well, and you know what? And I have to tell you, the little Tank, had me hollering when he was doing a little prayer.
And his sister giving him the side eye.
Because you know what? This picture of me here, that was me at 4 years old at the dinner table saying, because they sent me to the Catholic, and I'm saying the Hail Mary, the Our Father, all the prayers they teach you. And my father was like, "Can we eat now already?" and we went through it for a while. They had to shake me and shut me up. But yeah, poor Martell. He ain't never gonna have it so good. But I tell you what, maybe I think that what I liked about what I think I saw in them is sometimes you can be in a relationship, you get mad, you fight, and then for a minute you're like, you know what? I'm not going to fight you no more because I'm just going to remember this is why we were together. This is why I liked you, and this is why I loved you. I'll put that where it needs to be. We just don't have to be together. And then and I saw them celebrating that they had in common, and I just really enjoyed this show the most.
Yeah.
It's getting better for me.
Yes. So wait, Sin City from NOLA, you are correct. Tank went in on his prayers, honey. Yes, he wasn't playing, okay? He was grateful that mama, daddy was together, that Nana was there, the other Nana's coming. Give it up for Tank, okay? He did his thing with his prayers, okay? Sheila, thank you for being here. What do you want to add to this conversation?
I tell you, it's kind of sad that the show, what a lot of people did not know when it first started, and I think you guys mentioned it earlier, that they were already having marital problems. And it's unfortunate that most women, they put up with that. And as long as it's not highlighted, they're okay with it. And he was okay with knowing that he was a cheater. But once he got so comfortable doing it and got the young lady pregnant, that was all she could take because it bruised her ego that she had. But she had you got to look at it from the perspective that she had a false sense of an ego about it because he was already doing it. And then the truth be told, her last child she had unfortunately, she had Sugar Mama as a revenge against the other lady being pregnant. And
Yeah.
that still didn't stop him from doing what he was doing until she finally said, I've had enough. And now he realizes what he had. And it also showed the fact that everything they had, it was because of her. He didn't even have
Yeah.
the license to have the businesses that they had. And it put him in a different light, that he was all along needing her, but he was so arrogant with his cheating that he didn't respect her enough to appreciate what she was doing for their family. Now he
That's
misses
right.
it and he wants it back. And if I was her, I wouldn't pay him no attention. I
That's
will
right.
allow him to be there with the kids or whatever. But if she gets with him, that's her husband and that's her madness, not mine, because I
Yeah,
wouldn't
you
deal
know
with it.
what? So y'all turning me around somewhat. I get
Yeah, I
it,
done got turned
right?
around, Diva. I'm sorry, I done
You got
fell off
turned
the
around.
train.
You left your lawyer. You
I'm
got
headed
this.
back to the station.
You guys were really
You
on the
you got
wrong
on the train
road.
going back. I'm still on
It's
the
going
train.
back.
You left me. Okay. So wait,
Look,
Patricia.
bye.
Patricia said Diva, Martell wasn't helping. You know what, Patricia? I agree with you on this, right? He wasn't helping with the business as he should have been. He was busy running the street and giving his child
Mhm.
chick money that Mel was bringing in. I
That's
agree with
right.
you. I did get nostalgic. I did, I did get emotional. But see, that happens to me very easy, right? All you gotta do is tell me a little story or something, and then I'll be all down the rabbit hole with you. So he got me. I ain't gonna lie, he got me. When he was sitting in the confessional that y'all said was fake, he reeled me in. He reeled me
He
in.
did
And
me
then he
too.
got up and he left because he didn't want to cry. He reeled me in, okay? Because he was like, okay, hold on. And then he got up and left. I was like, oh my God, he broke me down, okay? He broke me down and I
I
fell
was
in the
cool.
trap. Yeah, he got me, okay?
No,
Sugar Mama was born in December. Knox is younger. Um,
Okay.
okay. But
And but you have to realize that he's a manipulator. A
yeah,
cheater is a
that's right.
manipulator. So he knows how to manipulate emotions to work for himself. Think
That's a
about
good
that.
question.
Miss ATL and Superstar said, Diva, do you have an ex you want to get back with? Girl, no. Let me tell you something.
You said that too quickly.
Look,
Let me
that
tell you
was
something. That
confirmation,
would be
okay?
that would be an N in the O, okay? But listen, all I'm saying is that Martell, he got me. He got me. I got swooped in, okay? I got swooped in, but that's why y'all here. Y'all bringing me back. I appreciate it, okay? I appreciate y'all.
No
But
problem.
he
No
did
problem.
he did get me. He did get me, and I
Mhm.
believe the confessional, especially because he got up. He got up. He was about to tear up, and he caught me.
Mhm.
Okay,
I
so
fell
so
for
now
it.
let's move on to, and like I said, the couples game was super cute. Even the conversation between Marcel and Martell was nice because that's what I was really getting ready to bring up is that Martell is not stupid. He does
Mhm.
speak a lot. He does speak a lot of sense. He said that you know what, him and Mel are going to choose partners that are going to be good for the kids, and they're not going to just be willy nilly, showing anybody to the kids and all of that. And he's going to pick somebody that's going to be a good stepmother, and she's going to pick someone that's going to be a good stepdad. He got the words in him. I'll say that. He got the words in him. And when it comes time for him to speak about this co-parenting thing, he makes sense. Can we at least give him that? Can we give him that,
Yeah,
everybody?
I'll
Okay.
give him
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, he makes sense. Nah, Diva, I said bye, Martell. Okay. I know y'all. Listen, I know y'all
Ah.
done with him. So on that note, let's deal with Kimmy. Okay, let's talk about this scene with Kimmy. What we dealt with this scene with Kimmy, Maurice, Her hairdresser, I think is Brianne, right? Brianne, what's her name?
Brianna.
Brianna, right? H, I'm about to bring you up. I don't know if you want to put your avatar back up. In her friend Andrea. First of all, let me tell you this about the friend, and then I'm gonna come around and talk to you. The friend could be her sister.
Yes.
I swear to goodness, they look so much alike, right? And when you talk about friends, that's the type of friend you want to have. That friend brought her earrings for this situation. She bought her the big coupe earrings. I love this scene. The hairdresser, you can tell that this was no fly-by-night person that came by to cut her hair. This is somebody that's probably been doing her hair for years. You could tell all the love was in the room. And I don't care what nobody say. Maurice, I love that we're getting to see a different side of him, right? Because if we only got to see the other side, I used to think he was such a jerk, such an a-hole, so arrogant like the rest of his brothers. But you know what? This is Love and Marriage Huntsville. Because that man is showing that, you know what? I love my Kimmy. She is not her hair. She is not her boobs. He spoke the words out of his mouth. And let me tell you, he was in that scene too, tearing up. But this man was strong enough and Kimmy wanted him because the hairdresser could have cut all of Kimmy's hair and shaped it up and everything. But Kimmy let her man step in and do a little piece of that cut into this whole thing. I'm telling you, for somebody that's going through a situation like this can change their life seeing this. Maurice, I'm giving it up to you, my brother. You are what? I just love it. This is love. This is love. And you saw the tears in his eyes, and he kept reassuring her like you're good, and he kept hugging her and holding her. I don't even know what else to say about that scene. Andrea, the friend, we love you.
We love you.
The hairdresser, what's her name? And I hope I'm not pronouncing her name. Brianna.
I think it's Brianna. I think it was.
Okay, Brianna, we love you. And Maurice, hands down, you're going to get the Husband of the Year award from Love and Marriage Huntsville because you have not only stepped up, you showed up, and every time Kimmy seems to need a good word from you, you said something good say. I don't remember it all, but I know he said she's not her hair, her breast, her youthful look. He said all of that can go away. She is what's inside of her heart. Give it up, Maurice. What? He broke that thing down. Yes, give it up, give it up, give it up. So, Warrior, what did you feel about this scene?
Oh man, Diva, every week it is just taking me there more and more and more. And I just, oh my God, first of all, the hair, Kimmy, go off. Never knew Kimmy had that hair all down her head, thick body. I said, come through, sis.
Come through.
I've always kind of liked Maurice more than all of the rest of the men because I didn't feel like he was such of a butthole like the rest of them. But this right here is showing for better or for worse, for rich or for poor, in sickness and in health, as long as we both shall live. He and she are abiding by those vows because even in her sickness, she still is playing a role as wife. Even though I have a sickness, I have an illness, I still have to be that supportive partner to my husband that I need him to be as his wife. You know, it's just the supportiveness together, the way he holds her, the way he loves on her. And you can see that Kimmy is not an affectionate person. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. But she is receiving the love that she knows she needs. And I love that she even tries not to cry and she's trying to be strong. It's the strength in me through Kimmy. The friend, oh my gosh, if that was, I definitely thought that was her sister. When it said friend underneath next to her name, I was like, wow, oh my gosh. But the positivity, it was the positivity, but most of all, it was the energy for me. She came in on 15,000. Girl, this is an exciting moment. You are making a decision that you want to make. As Kimmy told us, she didn't want to be in the shower washing and her hair just start falling out. She wanted to be in control, and this is something that she can control. Brianna, girl, you did that hairstyle. That shortcut, that curl was everything. Maurice, we thank you for stepping up and being a part of the journey, helping to cut that little back, even though it wasn't all of that, but you did your part, sir. It wasn't, but you did your part.
I let you finish. I didn't want to go there because I was like, but we still giving it up to Maurice. I feel like he made it bald and he didn't fade it out, but okay, it's okay. But go ahead.
And I thought it was just so cute how she gave their story of how they met, Maurice being a barber, Jalen needing a haircut. That's how she got with it. Was just love and marriage. Huntsville. This episode literally, even with Melanie and Martell not being together, it gave love and marriage. We are loving, we are in our marriage, we are working on each other, we're working on our family, we're here to support. And it was just amazing. Kimmy, hats off to you. Maurice, hats off to you. Hats off to the friends, the family, everybody who is supporting them on this journey. And it takes a village. And you can tell that the village is there helping to support Kimmy and Maurice. Congratulations for the healing that's already done. It's already done.
And with so many dark moments in a lot of these different reality shows, we got to give it up to them. Ashley B, thank you for coming and becoming a member. I truly appreciate it. Kimmy is such a beautiful woman, short hair, long. Absolutely. I totally agree. Touching moment. Let's hope it's real. I don't trust none of the Scots. You know what, Patricia? But I'm feeling Maurice.
Yeah.
You said we got to be real, Diva. I know. Okay, so we being real. The haircut, he messed up, but he was nervous. And he was crying too, so we gonna give him a pat.
It was the tears.
We
had to help him. Pat.
Yes. Oh, my favorite episode. Yes, Pat. I don't have my Tisha over here. You are absolutely right. We got to give him the triangle, okay? My favorite episode ever, Tina. I agree. I thought the one before that was my favorite, and now this one has become my favorite. I'm loving Marriage Huntsville. Okay, Robin, what do you have to say about this scene?
A lot. I will agree that I was looking for a fade in the back too. Didn't happen. I would like to reiterate what you and Rhea have said. This show, this week, like the week before, is giving the title Love and Marriage Huntsville. It was so refreshing to not see fights and mess. It was real people. That's reality TV.
Yes.
I'm not doubting the diagnosis that Kimmy has, and it was also for me. I have a personal feeling about it. I told you like many times ago when we spoke that last year I must have been in the hospital a good 10 times minimum. And I had all kinds of different diagnoses, including the big one, the cancer. But I have a cancer that is not active, but I was bugging out because over the course of maybe 2 weeks, I had literally less hair than you have right now, Diva. Because every time I comb my hair, it was just coming out in clumps. And my hair was about down to here. And I was bugging out. And I said to the doctor, I said, what is happening? And she goes, you're under a lot of stress. And I was like, damn, this is stress. What if I have to get chemotherapy? I'm going to be really in the mess.
Right.
But you know what I did? I went to one of my friends who's a hairdresser. And I was like, what am I going to do? And she said, we're going to cut it off. And so that was last year. And now
Look at you.
Right back. Me and Kimmy working our curls, whichever way.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Tomorrow. But yeah, and it resonated with me because just the idea of community and
Mm-hmm.
sharing and deciding how to share what's happening with you and who you let in and how
Mm-hmm.
you let people in, how you let them help you, how you ask for help, how you help them through what you're going through. It all just resonated. It was very soothing, totally soothing for me.
Yeah, you know what? I really feel like she probably doesn't even realize it, even though she said it, that she's touching the hearts of many people. And, when you have platforms like this, you have a lot of responsibility,
Yep.
and you can take that responsibility seriously and give off something good, or you could just take that responsibility like, whatever, I'm gonna make my money and it's gonna be what it is, and y'all could believe it or not believe it. I'm glad Kimmy decided to allow us to go through this journey with
With her.
her, because I really feel like it's going to help a lot of people. And it may even help some husbands to say, because sometimes people disengage because they're so afraid. It's
Mm-hmm.
not really that they don't want to help you, they're just so scared themselves,
And don't know
and
how.
they don't know how. And Maurice might be helping other husbands that are scared
Mm-hmm.
to step up and say, you know what, this brother did it. I could probably get through this and help my wife do it too. And
Mm-hmm.
and he even admitted after the fact, like when they was telling the family, that he said, "Yeah, I told her that in that moment, but I was scared too."
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
so it's like all these great nuggets that are coming from these moments, and I appreciate it. And Robin too, thank you for sharing. I think even us, like I have fun doing these recaps, but when we all share our little moments every now and then, it touches people and it helps people. And
Yeah.
I get emails where people said, oh my God, so and so said such and such on your show, and it helped me. Um,
Yeah.
so I think even your story, Robin, because as females, and maybe men too, because I know there's a lot of men now that they're going bald earlier and earlier, right? And it's like, we're all kind of connected to our hair. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like,
Mhm.
in addition to you going through something, okay, I'm not only going through this, but now I got to lose all my hair. Kimmy had a
Mm-hmm.
lot of hair, but
Lot
Mhm.
here.
even her hairdresser, that's a good hairdresser, being able to take Kimmy's hair and she's going to make her a wig from that.
Yes.
It was so
That's
much that happened in that
Mm-hmm.
episode that was just so good and heartfelt. I loved it. I really did
Yeah.
love it. And I love that, she was sharing. So thanks for sharing, Robin.
Sure.
Carl, you're in the building. What did you think about this episode, that scene?
OMG. First, like, thanks for your share also. Lady that just went before me, I love you. Thank you for
That's
that.
Robin.
My
Uh-huh.
mom totally has the C4. She has C4.
Oh.
And so she's going through like her hair just coming out, coming out, coming out because they switched up treatment for a minute. And she's totally having such issues right now. Like she came over for Thanksgiving and she's combing her hair in the morning, and there really was a lot of hair, you guys. It was so much hair. I was like, oh well, mom, do you want to cut it? And she was like, no, because she just doesn't even feel like cutting it at this point. Like I don't know. She just doesn't want to cut it, but I want her to cut it so that she can have that feeling like she's in control. You know what I mean?
Right, I
But
do.
she's just not there right now. So
Right.
anyway, but yeah, thank you for that share because that's a beautiful sign that people can do what they can during hard times to get through. You know what I mean? But to Love and Marriage Huntsville, oh my God. So like I was trying to get through and the StreamYard wouldn't work. Okay. And so then I was like, why can't I get through? Am I on punishment? Did I say something yesterday?
Oh,
I was like,
I don't know what happened to that. I don't know
We
what
had
was
that
with
black
that
screen.
one. Really, I can't, but at least
yeah,
y'all
I
here
totally
now.
thought I was on punishment, you guys. I was like,
Nah,
uh-oh. I was like,
never,
are?
never.
So no, they shouldn't get back together. That's where I was trying to get in at. No, Martell and Melody I love this co-parenting thing. I'm a tag team I'm on everything everybody else just said. So I'm going to tap, tap, tap in on
Mm-hmm.
what a pleasure it was to see Love and Marriage Huntsville be back. You know, the navigation of before
Yes.
and after the happening of relationships was an elevated episode. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate it. It was a pleasure to watch with no ratchetness, no triggering stuff happening. It was
Yes.
all just like authentic, vulnerable, sincere, like just here we are. This is who we really are. This is who, you know what I'm saying? And it really felt so good as a viewer to finally be like, oh yeah, like this is reality TV and it doesn't have to be like toxic. You know what I'm saying? That was really a pleasure. Kimmy and Maurice. When there were 3 couples on this show, Melody and Martell, Kimmy and Maurice, and Marsau and Tisha, Kimmy and Maurice were my favorite for a very long time.
Mine too.
For a very long time. And it wasn't until really, it was weird. Like when Melody got divorced, they were still kind of my favorite, but I started kind of seeing little ways where they were like Scottish. And I was like, oh, so she got ways, you know what I mean? And so then this year though, I was like, oh, I don't like any of the Scotch. All got Kool-Aid and da-da-da-da. But last night I was so happy to see the Kimmy, the reason why I liked her. And the reason why I liked her and why she was my fave before was because she was the realest one. It felt like she wasn't trying. It used to feel like she was just like living her life and we happened to be there. And like, if you really met her IRL, she might be down to earth. You know what I'm saying? And so last night, her sharing her hair journey with us, her sea journey with us, and how she's navigating all of that. It was such, you know, it's like I said, since my mom also has cancer, it was like so insightful. It was teaching. It was just all good in such a tragic situation. And I want to thank the Scotts, Kimmy and Maurice, for showing us how it can be done.
Yes.
Maurice, hats freaking off, man. Man, I know he felt like asking for some, but he put his own needs on the back burner and was all in the reason why I thought he was the best one for the couples before. He was just like all Kimmy, you know, and that was so, he was like, you could see like the fear and the strength in his eyes and both of them. And you could tell that they were both afraid for each other and strong for each other. You know what I mean?
No, I do.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm really sorry they're going through all this, and I pray for her, and I pray for Maurice. But just wow, yeah, thank them so much for sharing that.
Yeah. Wow. You know, so my mom is a breast cancer survivor. Got it late, like she was 69. Yeah, my mom was 69, and you want to know what's crazy? At 70, they changed the protocol. I guess they feel like once you're 70, you lived a good life. Medicine is messy. Medicine is so freaking messy. But yeah, so they did a different protocol because you know with the treatments, it's all protocol based chemotherapy. But she got a different protocol because she was 69 versus 70. But doing well right now, right? And then my dad is 84. And I said it before, like he recently diagnosed with a stomach cancer, but you know, he's going through this chemo now and holding up well and tight. But it's, you know, support, I think, in these situations is everything. And that's why I'm just loving this support. And like Curves, like you said, you're connected. I think I'm so connected to her sharing and telling her story because I feel like they can really help a lot of people. Because there's some people that go through, it's like a therapy room.
Yeah.
And some people sit there and they're going through this therapy by themselves. And I noticed, you know, again, Dot Willie, thanks for sharing. Thank you, Leslie. Thanks for sharing because I see you said your daughter was stage 4, if I read that right. I hope I did. And survived. So, you know, this thing can be beat. And I'm a firm believer that when you have more support, sort of more people, more reasons to live for, it helps you significantly. But
That is
over,
factual, Diva.
right,
That is very factual. My aunt that just passed away recently.
right.
I
Okay,
was,
yeah.
I think I was telling y'all, I don't know if it was y'all or somebody else, but I really feel like that she kind of checked out because the support was not there.
Mm,
Um, the sometimes, when you're sick, you can become a burden.
yeah.
And I think the worst thing for a sick person to feel like is a burden on people. And I feel like which is why I commend Marie so much, because
Mm-hmm.
Kimmy could very easily just kind of check out of this and be like, it is what it is, whatever. Or Maurice could definitely kind of just check out of this and be like, okay, well, she's going through this, not me, so whatever. But the fact that they are truly supporting one another, they have the support of the family. We have
Mm-hmm.
the support of the show. Even when we went a couple of episodes ago to go tell Tisha's like she said, I'm not calling. I'm just gonna show up because I already know that you're not gonna call me. So, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, Diva, it is the support that matters most, and that is what
Yeah.
brings you through that support.
Yeah, 100%. Sheila, I want you to get into this conversation. Espar, thank you for the super stick. I truly appreciate it. Sheila, what do you want to add to this conversation? Then H, I'm coming to you next.
On a personal level, we're kind of dealing with that in our household.
Mm,
Um, but what has been helpful for us is the fact that I support my husband 110%. And it's an outlook that you have. If you have a
mm-hmm.
demeanor of, woe, it's me,
Mm,
um, it makes it worse.
yes.
If you did not know that was going on, you wouldn't know because that's not um, the image that we put out there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my husband has a very upbeat spirit.
Mm,
He's his demeanor, everything. Um, he is awesome. He's everything to me. He's everything to our family. He's everything to everybody. They
mm,
still it's still hard to believe that we're going through this. But when you have someone that has the outlook of I'm living with it, I'm not dying from it, it makes a
mm,
totally different experience. And the strength that I have is because of the strength that he has.
mm.
And you have to be around people who are not sad all the time. This
Yeah.
has been a 12-year thing that we've lived
Wow.
with him. And my husband once told me, you need to stop crying
Mm,
because if you're crying, I cannot focus on myself
mm-hmm.
because I'm worried about you. And I
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
realized that if I stay strong, even though there's times when I want to cry, I don't. I
mm-hmm.
stay strong because if he can be going through what he's going through and stay strong, I can at least do that for him.
Yeah.
And you have to realize that scene with the support that he was showing his wife is what you need.
Yes.
You have to keep you have to keep your faith. You have to keep
Mm-hmm.
your joy. You have to keep um, everything you normally would do. You just have to keep that going on. And that has worked for us. I asked my husband prior to speaking if he felt okay with me saying anything.
Sharon.
And
Oh.
he said he was fine with it. Other than that, I would not speak on it. But it is something that a lot of people don't understand. It is a
Mm-hmm.
battle. There is nothing worse than watching someone that has that pass on. I watched both my parents have it and pass on. And the support that we all showed our parents is the same support that I give my husband and the same support that our family give him as well. So that's all I have to say about it. But everybody is spot on about the support is what helps that person get along.
Yeah. Sheila, thank you for sharing. And I
Yes,
think I said it
definitely.
yesterday. You know what gave me comfort with everything my dad is going through? He looked at me and he said, "Don't worry. Don't worry about me."
Mm-hmm.
And I got this overwhelming comfort. I just felt good that no matter what happens, it's God's will, and that the fact that he's not, like you said, that he's good, so to speak, you know what I mean? Like, of course, nobody's good that they're going through such a thing, but that he's good, and he knew by looking at me, and he said, "Don't worry." Like, I went home and I slept at night,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know, you understand what I'm trying to say, and I'm gonna leave that there. But so Victoria, thanks for sharing. Right, said I had a double mastectomy, 5-year survival. God bless you. Right,
Yes.
my kids were definitely my strongest supporters. God bless you. And here's the thing too. This is one condition that no one knows how it really comes about. And I'm gonna tell you proof of that. And I do believe that it could be some of the foods or whatever, but then you got people that eat these bad foods all their life, and they don't never have nothing, right? But I'm gonna tell you for a fact, when I've seen babies practically being born and then being diagnosed with it, that
Mm-hmm.
tells me, like, what the heck? Where does this thing come from? Like, it's just crazy to me. But H, you're in the building. What would you like to add to this conversation in that particular scene with Kimmy and Maurice?
Firstly, I'd like to say, prayers and thoughts and well wishes going out to anybody and everybody who has been affected by cancer.
Thank you for that.
It was a beautiful scene because number one, you're seeing Kimmy be supported by her friends and also her husband. Having him trim down her hair was her way of allowing him into the process,
Yes.
and which was really good to see. But I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, but the program's called Love and Marriage Huntsville, and if you think about Maurice and their trip to the retreat, and when he was speaking with Dr. Francis, what was his main problem that he said he had? So although the support and everything's there for Kimmy at the moment, I'm seeing clouds on the horizon.
Wait, what do you wait?
Clouds.
Yes, I'm seeing clouds on the horizon for Maurice and Kimmy, because Maurice's main problem is the fact that he's not having enough physical time with her.
I don't.
I think
I'm
his
missing that
priorities may
one.
have shifted a bit at this point.
Yeah, Robin, right?
Things are different.
Yeah, I think so too. Listen, I think part of what they do sometimes, I'm not saying that it wasn't true, but I think part of what they do sometimes is because they need some drama and stuff for the reality show, right? To get the views and whatever, right? But I think what we're seeing now, I really think it's authentic. I think it's
It
the
is.
core him.
I agree.
I don't think you can make that up, pretend to do what he's doing. When he hugged her, I felt it. He hugged her twice, if you notice. He hugged her twice, like he grabbed her and he held on to her. And I promise you, I felt it. I was like, this is authentic, this is real. And I think that sometimes, first of all, if you've been together long enough with anybody, y'all gonna be on a roller coaster ride. It's going to be some highs. It's going to be some lows. It's going to be some in between. But you can tell a couple that really loves each other if you can make it through the storm, right?
Exactly.
Because there's going to be a storm. And that's
I think,
part of what Martell, I'll let you, give me 1 second, Maria. I think that's part of what Martell was saying. He didn't withstand the storm. And he wished that in hindsight, he could have went back and he would have gave it more time and he would have withstood the storm. The thing that people got to understand is too, when you're just dating somebody, everything could be great because I can leave my house a disaster, go out on this date, and then come back and fix up my house. But when y'all are married and y'all together, y'all like, nah, we ain't gonna go out. We gotta clean this house. We gotta do this. We gotta get the kids. We gotta get everything together. So it's unrealistic for people to think that once you get married, things are not going to change. Your responsibilities change, especially if you marry young and first y'all together and there's no kids. Y'all ain't got nothing but time on your hand when there's no kids. Okay? Once some kids come, especially if both of you still got to work, realistically, you're going to be tired. Especially, you know, now it's changed. The world has changed with this remote work. But before that, two people are commuting to work. Somebody got to drop this baby off at a babysitter. Then y'all got to go pick that baby up. Then you might have had to stop at the supermarket to buy dinner. Then you got to cook dinner. And by the time that's all said and done, you just dirt tired, okay? And listen, if you be lucky, I could get in that shower and wash myself after I wash the baby, put the baby to sleep, and come on. And you still got to wash clothes, clean house, or whatever. So it's like, people kill me when they say things have changed. Yes, things have changed because our responsibilities and everything else we have to do has changed also. But I don't want to get too far off. I want to bring it back and say, I feel that Maurice is being authentic. I don't think you can pretend about those tears. I don't think you can pretend about the words in his mouth. I don't think you can pretend about the way he was holding her and what he said in that confessional. I felt it. He plugged at my heart, and I'm giving it up to him. But Roy, I know you was trying to say something, so go ahead and say it.
Yeah, no, I really think that this situation with Kimmy has put everything in their lives in perspective. I think that they see the bigger picture of what this is, especially Maurice. I think he understands a little bit deeper why him and Kimmy are together. Because as much as this is a storm for Kimmy, this is just as much as a storm for Maurice as well. And it's a test of their marriage. Like someone said, to see if they can withstand, you know, the battles that life throws at you, a part of your marriage. You know, it's one thing to battle things on your own as an individual or as a dating person or as a single person, but to battle something as one with two people, it's a whole nother level. And I know, you know, Maurice was, you know, talking about intimacy issues and all that stuff, but I really think now that he sees the full picture, and I feel like once they get over this hump, it will bring them back together on a whole nother level that's going to surpass where they were, because they were able to push through that rough, tough spot of what they have gone through. So I agree with you, Diva. I think that their paths, you know, Maurice sees the bigger picture, you know.
Yeah, I do think Maurice is authentic, and I do think his feelings are real. All I'm saying is that as a married couple, when they were both healthy, you know, physical affection was an issue. So now she's sick, fighting for her life. Do you think that the physical affection is no longer going to be an issue for Maurice?
I didn't believe him when he said that he would. I never believed that line. I think it was so over the top. It was so exaggerated. It was so out of who Kimmy appeared to be, in the kind of way that they may have interacted before the cameras came on. They needed a storyline. There you go. I need more. Give me more, more, more. And now it's like, oh, no. So now if we look at, let's say that when he was talking about, if you could even look at his comportment, when he was talking about how he wanted how many times a day, how different he seemed then and how he was in the last two shows. Because you know what? He was being real and authentic reality TV was this week and last week and the week before. When I was at the retreat, I was acting for the cameras. I was producing because I didn't have any reality to share or that I wanted to share, or I didn't think it was sexy enough to tell you about our real estate businesses, our title company that didn't seem, have enough bells and whistles. So we said, I want sex. Let me say I want that. But now I think that now we see the difference. And we know that this is true, this is real, this is authentic. That was really show.
Yeah, and so now I can get with you where you say as far as affection, because like I say, even now you can see Kimmy is not a very outwardly affectionate person. True. From what I have seen on camera.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can see where outside of sex, I could see where kind of Maurice is kind of talking about with the, because I feel like Kimmy, from what I have heard and seen, Kimmy is a sexual being. I mean, she gets down like that. But as far as, the cuddling, the hugging, the touching, the feeling, you can tell that that's just not her. So I feel like it was a stretch what Maurice was saying, but then again, I can kind of see where he would kind of feel that way, but I think it was a stretch. I think it was a stretch too.
So hold on. Jessica said Martell. Yeah, no, I remember this. Don't y'all gonna leave me alone with my Martell right now, okay? But Jessica, you are correct. She said Martell has a lot of regrets. Remember, he had some kind of injury during the pandemic. Yes, I do. He was crawling on the floor trying to answer his side piece call. I do remember, while in the house with his wife and kids. I do remember. And he was going to the gym during the pandemic when everything was closed. I do remember. I didn't forget. But all I'm saying is, I think he changed, but I could be wrong.
Past be the past.
Oh no.
He has changed. He's changed his address. He's changed his marital status. He's changed who he lives with. He's changed how many times he sees his children, feeds his children, bike rides with his children, sees Mel, fights with Mel. He changed, those are his changes.
Yeah, he's right. And Vanessa, you are correct. They have bigger fish to fry now. They really do. Mm-hmm. And I just like to, because and we have fun. And like I said, it's entertainment purposes only when we do these things. But I have to say that when you get something like this and they're being real, because I drag them when I have to drag them, but I got to give it up when I need to give it up. And I got to give it up to Maurice because I'm feeling that he's not playing games. And if you follow him on Instagram, he was with Kimmy. He didn't show her face, but he showed like her bottom, like her legs and her feet. And I didn't listen to the whole thing, but he was at her treatment with her. He's not playing. This is real. This is for real with Maurice. Like, he's doing the darn thing. Leon Shore said, I have a country to sell to Diva.
He'll get a good price.
Listen, my friends be like, they be telling me all the time, are you serious? Like, do you really believe? I be like, no, you got to get the person. But listen, all jokes aside, y'all turning me around slightly. I'm still on the train, okay? Because I feel like Martell gets it now. But y'all turning me around slowly. But y'all done got Royer off the train. He on his way back to the station, okay? So y'all won.
Diva.
Y'all have won. He's off the train, okay? Going back to the station, yes.
If you saw a man take out a machete and chop off his own foot, would you feel sorry for that man?
I would think he crazy or something. I probably would.
Okay. Whatever Martel's done, he's done to himself. You were saying that Martel's going through the storm. No, Martel was the storm.
Mm. Whoa. Okay, well, you know what? Hey, you know what? Hey, you know what? All jokes aside, I hear you, but you know what too though? I like his mom, and there's a lot of moms like this, but his mom is part of the problem as to why he is who he is. Because when you hear his mom in these scenes, she's straight delusional sometimes. And
Mhm.
that's his mom, who doesn't really listen to their mom. And so mom is a little delusional, and it helps him stay in his mess because she
True.
doesn't even get with him. Do you know what I mean? Like, so
But then, but
you can still love your son, but sometimes you got to love him and tell him, yo, you messed up.
Diva,
yeah,
those
but then,
words.
Yeah.
you know,
Years ago, somebody told me, I don't remember who it was or what, but they said one thing about mothers, they raise their daughters and love their sons.
Mm, I heard that before too. Yes.
And we don't know that he
Martel's
doesn't
gonna
have, but he's
Good.
loved by his mother. He's not raised.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ace. What was you gonna say?
at this rate, the only woman that would have Martel is his mother, and I think, that's basically he's her emotional husband, so she's happy to see him without somebody because that keeps him with her.
Mm. Well, you know what? I'm gonna give it to you. There are a lot of females like that, and that's bad, right? Because they make it bad for the woman that their sons get with. And
Hmm.
so the good thing about me is, like, my son he's my only one. Um, but I'm gonna you listen, I'm going to set him free, and I'm not going to be in the business between him and whoever he gets with or whatever. I'm just going to train him up right. And I'm training him up right now in the way that my dad is to me, the way that my
Hmm.
brother is to me, the way
Hmm.
that all the men in my family is. Like, I'm teaching my son, and my brother teaches him too. And his grandfathers teach him. So I'm prepared. Like, I'm not going to be like, my son is not my man. My son is my son.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm really trying to say. Facts, Diva, Martell can do no wrong with her. He can't. She was like, because even when she talked about the other baby. And listen, I will never, I think when the child is here, the child is here. Okay, we got to
Mhm.
love all the children because they didn't ask to be here. But even the way she talked to him about it, it was like, oh, well, no, mama, it's not, oh, well. You had a wife and you messed up. Now I'm going to love all my grandbabies, but you messed up, and now you created a whole hot mess for your children with your wife, and now this child with this other woman, and you're not with either one of them.
Mhm.
And but Ariane, she needed some help too, because my thing is, okay, you had a child and you was a single mother once, right? You're gonna do it 10 times over. So you got with a man that you knew was not available. So right then, if you got pregnant, you were signing up to be a single mother again on
Yeah.
purpose. Like,
he
why
wasn't
would
he
you do
wasn't
that?
available. He wasn't
Huh?
available, but Martel wasn't available for Ariane, but he was making out like he had money. If, if,
Mm.
if if a man can come along and buy you a car, then obviously you're thinking that he can do something for you. So he's making himself look like the breadwinner when basically he's using Melody. He's using Melody and Melody's money to entrap and ensnare this other woman. At the end of this, she's the side chick. Everybody wants their money. She's not worried about if he's married or not. She's thinking he's got money. And the image that he was perpetrating was just a straight fraud.
Well, you know what though? She caught what she caught though, because
True.
at one thing she definitely knew. She knew he wasn't single.
Mhm.
That is true. I'm not,
That
I'm
part.
not,
So
I'm not, I'm not, I'm not condoning Ariane's actions or anything. I'm just
right,
saying, in a sense, Martel's lied to everybody. He
Including
lied
him.
to he lied to his wife about who he was. He lied to his side chick about who he was.
And
I can,
himself.
I can, I can agree with that. I can. It's like you need to see the reality instead of the potential.
There you go.
Okay.
I
Well,
think initially he may have lied to Ariane about his relationship, but once she was in it long enough, she knew he was married. She
Mhm.
didn't care. He didn't care. And she was aware of it. So the idea now that he is single and he's still not with her, that tells you how much he truly valued her. She was
Right.
truly
That's true.
something to play with,
Mm-hmm.
and she had no value to him. And
Yeah.
he meant it when he said what he said about her.
Yeah, she was a peasant.
Yes, he meant that.
Yeah.
He didn't say that because it was for TV. He meant that. His
Mhm.
action shows that he truly meant that.
Yeah,
It
you want to
takes
know
one to
what's
know one.
crazy? A lot of men, when they're cheating like that, they literally deep in they love what they enjoy what they're getting from that person, but deep down, they have no respect for that person
No.
Yeah.
because they're like, you knew what I was into and that I had a whole wife when you was with me. They don't have respect for that person. Very rarely does the side chick win. I'm not saying there's cases where the man doesn't leave and actually marries a side chick or get with her, but it's a rare moment.
Yes,
It doesn't
very
happen
rare.
all the time. It's very rare because they literally don't have respect for her. But you know what, Sheila, you hit the nail on the head. When he called her a peasant, he meant it. And to
Yeah.
tell you
Mhm.
how low her self-esteem was, she got pregnant after he called her the peasant.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
And she
Yeah.
sure did.
So
Yeah,
that
very.
tells you that her self-esteem was gutter low, gutter low.
But you
Because
know,
this man disrespected you at the highest level on that TV. And when he still, because he was still trying to kind of play, because Melody was pregnant. Melody
okay.
was on that reunion pregnant, remember? She
Yeah.
was
Okay. You're
pregnant when
right.
he called her a peasant, okay? And tried to act like he didn't know her, wasn't with her, all of that. So, and she got pregnant after that. And that's why someone announced earlier, they said that Knox is younger than Sugar Mama.
Okay.
Um,
I'm corrected
so
there.
no, but I'm just saying, but yeah, so just imagine that you want to allow somebody to call you a peasant. You would have, even if I was low enough to be with you, knowing you was married, you would have called me a peasant on that TV. Oh, I'm good. I
Right.
don't care. I don't care what I would have to do to get myself unhooked from you. I would let
I'm
every
doing it.
one of my girlfriends know, y'all got to help me. If I
Mhm.
said I'm talking to this man, trying to see this man or whatever, y'all come over here and y'all have permission to beat some sense into me.
Right.
I have literally told girlfriends, listen, I'm trying to wing myself off of this person. If I mention them, I'm talking. Y'all gotta help me.
Yep.
Because
Change the
sometimes
subject.
you need help. You need help because
Mhm.
it's a soul tie and you're kind of addicted to whatever it is that person is giving
Mhm.
you. And you got to
Mhm.
pray every second. Don't pick up the
Mhm.
phone. Listen, I have blocked and unblocked numbers. Keeping it 100, okay? I
Right.
blocked the number, said I was done with them. Then I will unblock the number. Then you get that late night call and they suck you back in.
Exactly.
We got to keep it 100. And that's when you need some good people to help you release that bad seed out of your life.
Mhm.
So she didn't have
Mhm.
anybody helping her. But go ahead, I'm gonna shut up.
You know what
Who was talking? Yeah.
I think in her case, she truly believed his lies and believed that he was going to leave his wife for her. She believed that.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality was he was telling her all she needed to do to keep her in that place of being that
Mm-hmm.
side piece. And once she was available, or he was available totally, he didn't want her because he knew what
That's
she
it.
was.
Right.
She had no
Wait,
value
Leslie
to
said,
him.
wait, hold on. Leslie said if I have to go underground, he would never hear from me again. I'm telling you, you would have called me a peasant, I would have
Yeah.
been all the way good. Because if
Mhm.
that's not telling you how that person truly feels about you, but
Feels.
the main
Yes.
thing is, how do you feel about yourself when you
Mm.
can allow
That part.
somebody to call you a peasant and
And you
still
still
get in the
fool with
bed
them
with you, and
Yeah.
then get in the bed with you with no
and get pregnant.
protection?
Uh.
Mm-mm.
Yes. That part.
Mhm. Mel tolerated a lot of things. It makes you wonder what all the kids have been exposed to. The older kids, no. Here's the thing, right? When someone is your husband, um, I don't have judgment towards a wife that's trying to work out her marriage, right?
Right.
But if you don't have no connection to this person and it's just your boyfriend or your girlfriend, whatever, run and don't look back.
Mhm.
Okay. So if you're connected to a Martell and that's just your boyfriend, once you find out that he's a whole hot mess,
Yeah.
run and don't look back. But that was Melody's husband, and she had kids with him, and she invested a whole life with him. Um, I'm not saying that you should stay under any circumstances, but I do understand her trying to make it work. I've known
Mhm.
some couples that went through some stuff and they stayed together, and we never know nobody's business 100%, but from everything it appeared like, they got through the storm, and it's none of my business. You know what I mean? They got through
Yeah,
the storm. Go ahead, Korea.
Exactly.
and I think that's the problem. I think we really need to, well, I'll say in my opinion, that's the problem. We really need to take this perfection stigmatism on a marriage. We need to take that off.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage, there's nothing perfect about a marriage. There's not a mistake, in my opinion, that is too big or too little that cannot be fixed if both parties are really willing to do the work and to make the situation what it needs to be in order for it to be healthy for all parties.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have this mentality, and I say this because I feel like people, certain people, look down on Melanie because she allowed what happened to continue to happen. And we don't know what was going on in their day-to-day life. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
one thing that I really respected about Wendy is that she stayed, Wendy Williams, she stayed for her son. Once her son was of age, she checked out, and she always talked about that if you watched her after show, that she was there for her family. And I really think that Melanie was there for her family. She loved the idea of having her family in one home, even though everything wasn't perfect. But the fact that Martell could come home and still play dad, because I really don't feel like their marriage was all that together, even though she knew what was going on. Because you can even tell on that very first scene when they had dinner at Kimmy and Maurice's house, they were not on the same page at all. And the rumors had not even gotten out yet that there were things going, or it had not come out on the show yet that there were
Right.
things going on in their marriage. So I would really love if we can take this perfect perfection look on marriage away, because there's nothing perfect about anybody's marriage. Everybody goes through flaws, everybody has issues. Some people can grow and make it through, and some people can't.
You know, I
Yeah.
never got the impression based on that behind the scenes show that they had about Love and Marriage Huntsville. I never got the impression that Melody wanted to present her relationship as perfect. She said before they even started filming, she told Carlos, "My husband's cheating on me," and that she
Mm-hmm.
was going to bring it up on the show. So I think that that was part of her exit strategy, is to put him on Front Street, put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
She'd already decided where she was going with this. She'd already had her plan, not just to get out, but how she was going to get out and what she was going to do. I don't believe that she ever looked to present her marriage as being perfect at all. I think that she wants to present them as being good in business and not necessarily good with their personal relationship. Nice family, nice children, but the two of them, they have problems because he was a wanderer.
And I
Yeah.
think the only
I,
reason she ended up telling Carlos about that is because it was going on around in the streets that
yeah,
he
I
was
think so
cheating on
too.
her.
I
So
think so
that's the
too,
only
Ray.
reason, yeah, it went down that way. Had it
And
not
I
gone
think
down
I
she
that
think it
was,
way,
worked out for
yeah,
her.
yeah, I think she was trying to hold it together, because if she wasn't, I don't think Sugar Mama would be here. I don't think Sugar Mama was an accident. I think Sugar Mama was planned,
mhm.
definitely, at the very least on Mel's part. Let me just say this about Wendy Williams, and then Robin, I can see you about to say something. I'll let you say it, but let me say this about Wendy Williams. See, I'm in a mixture. I'm on middle ground with whether you should work it out and when it's time to run. And the
Mhm.
reason why I'm in and out of that is because with Wendy Williams, I think she probably should have ran way earlier, even if her son was a newborn. And the only reason why I say that is because with Wendy, he was more detrimental to her mental health um, versus anything. And so he was a good, I don't want to take away what he was good at. Um, he was good at managing her career for sure, 100%.
Right.
Um, the link, send the link. Oh, let me throw it out there again because that one link is broken. Um, so he was definitely good at that, and he was an enforcer. He's a little arrogant and narcissistic too, right? Because he's doing this article or he did this interview where he's saying the king behind the purple chair. Listen, you can be a king of whatever profession you want to be a king of, but if you don't have the right talent, your kingdom hood is not really going to show through.
Yeah, what you got to
So,
work.
don't. So I don't want him like. I feel like he's kind of minimizing the fact that Wendy Williams was who she was, right? So
Before,
when you have a person that goes to college, she went to college for communications. She knew she did in her heart and soul was what she did, right? So she had that in her already. So he sort of bumped into a person that had everything in them, and she just got the right management behind her. But Wendy Williams is that type of person where whatever management would have came behind her, she would have won because the winning was in her. He didn't have to put that in her, right? So he was a strong enforcer. And if you know, I'm from the city, I'm from New York City, and I follow Wendy from like the beginning of her career. So it was word in the street from the onset of those two getting together that you do not mess with him, with Kevin Hunter. Like he was a street dude, no joke.
Hood.
He hood. He had no
Brooklyn
problem
Hood.
shaking you all the way upside down.
Mm-hmm.
And he, like Roy was saying about Martell, or somebody said it, that Martell was in the streets using the family money on a side chick.
H. Mm-hmm.
So was Kevin Hunter. And he
Mm-hmm.
was using it on the highest level. And that's another reason why I despise, the side chicks and the men cheating and all of that. When you are tapping into our household piggy bank to utilize it on some chick in the street, that's when you have gone all the way low.
Mm-hmm.
When you buying that chick and me and that chick the same bag, the same bracelet, the same this, or you got a whole mansion that's down the block from my mansion for this chick. And every time she lays down and thinks, oh, I want to start a shoe company, you giving her my money to start this shoe company and she fails. So it's like every dream she had, Kevin Hunter was throwing Wendy Williams money in to support it. I think that, and then you know what? I think also that when you stay in mess too long, the harder it is for you to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Because your self-esteem can
Becomes your
be up
norm.
here. Yep, your self-esteem could be up here. And the more they do stuff to you, your self-esteem come down, 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 down to it's in the gutter. And I felt like that's what happened to Wendy Williams. Her self-esteem was so much in the gutter, she couldn't see herself without Kevin Hunter. And that was 99, in my opinion, the death of her, right? Is that when you no longer, you feel that you can't live without this person, you have lost yourself. And when you lose yourself in a relationship, to me, don't nothing go right from there. Sin, you're in the building. What do you want to add to this conversation?
You're on mute, Sin.
Yeah, you're on mute, Sin.
Hello.
Hey.
Without a peace of mind, you can't do much. You got to have a peace of mind in any relationship for the kids' sake, for your sake, for his sake. You got to have a peace of mind. I'm not walking out if my peace of mind is not tampered with. Once my peace of mind is tampered with, I got to go.
Right.
And I'll
Right.
do anything for my children, and I've done everything for my children. We raised our children together, but we haven't been together in over 20 years. Okay?
Right.
That was work. That was a lot of work, but it worked out. A lot of people don't have the time or the patience to put in because men can be so tedious, so juvenile, so childish. And Martell, he may want Mel back, but Martell is not doing the work. Martell is
Mm,
still in the streets,
mm,
you know, with whoever will sleep with him. If he really
mm.
wanted his wife back, he would be doing the work. That may mean him being alone for a year or two, clearing his mind, getting his licenses, doing what he needs to do to make his
Mhm.
own money, completely raise his kids. You know, sometimes women don't, we're not able to date men because we're raising our children. They come first.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay.
H has
Y'all
to been
making
hitting on
me
the
get
head.
off the train at the next stop, and I'm about to go on the other side and go back to the station. Y'all killing me. Y'all killing me. Okay. Y'all killing me.
I mean, you were
Go
saying
ahead,
about,
Sid. Go ahead, Sid.
sorry.
No, I was just saying H was on point with a lot of the things that she was saying. I feel her, but I don't think Martell is ready for Mel. He's
No,
not doing the work.
Martell,
He
you.
inviting people to the
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I was just gonna say
Mel.
Martell isn't ready. The only thing Martell wants in life is to have somebody to look after him. You were just saying
Mm,
about you were just talking about Wendy Williams losing her whole identity with Kevin Hunter.
mm-hmm.
Martell is mad because he couldn't do to Melody what Kevin did to Wendy. He wants to break her
Um,
down.
yeah,
He
that's what
wants
he's
to
really mad
destroy
at.
her 100%. And the fact that not only she's still standing, but she's still, I can't say the word, thriving.
Driving.
You know, she's got her business licenses. She's got her builder's license. She's got her skincare company. She's doing this. What's Martell doing? Up to this blessed day, the man can't get his builder's license.
Right.
So in a sense, he wanted to break Melody down, but really and truly, what did Melody lose?
Nothing.
Melody didn't lose anything. This man, he's a man, but he's not a man in the sense of the word. He's not a go-getter. He doesn't want to be a provider. He doesn't want to protect. You can't call yourself a protector and then, during a pandemic, you're exposing your fresh newborn child. Your child doesn't know anything about an immune system, and you're exposing your child to God knows what, and you're a man.
Yeah. You know
Yeah.
what? I'm seeing the light now. I'm seeing the
Um,
night light, y'all. I'm about to
I've
walk to the
heard.
other side and
Yeah,
come back to
H
the
Come
does
on
not
station.
care
over.
for Martell. Am
I
I
mean,
the only one who was? Or am I the only one who was so surprised at how much little Sugar Mama was talking?
Oh,
oh,
we
She's
love
such a
Sugar
I'm not
doll
Mama.
surprised.
face.
I'm
She was
not
so,
Such
and
a
she
surprised.
was
doll face.
when she was in the kitchen and they were talking about the breakfast, and I was like,
Yeah.
let her talk. I want to hear her. Then she
She's
kept
such
her in
a
dairy.
doll face. When they was talking about what they I was it grateful or what their
What their
best
favorite
memory
thing
was or
was, their
whatever.
favorite
And
memory.
yeah, as their favorite memory. And she was like, Daddy Shorts. She's just so freaking cute. I
She is
can't take it with
adorable.
her. She's such a doll face. And all of them, I swear to you, strong genes. But you want to know
Mhm.
what's crazy? Melanie and Martell got some fate. They like favor a little bit too. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Mm-hmm.
swear Martell's mom could have gave birth to Melanie.
I don't
hmm
know
Just
about
so
that.
you
I don't know about that. Mm-mm.
I'm talking about in
Mm-mm.
terms of her, like it's a little similar here, but still was like, no, you know what though?
Between.
All jokes aside, um, it's just sad. It's just such a beautiful family. And for the break to happen like that, I think that's what's breaking my heart. But Sin, as you stated, I think that they are on an amazing path to still make sure the kids are all okay. Um, and if anything, I love that more. I
Mhm.
love that Melody at her young age has the just she's beyond her years. I promise you that. Because I know some grown woman that acts so ridiculous
Mhm.
about the men seeing their kids. is just insanity and it's damaging to the children, right? I don't care. And this came from Iyanla Vanzant. She said, I could care less about she said, I could care less about whether that man paid his child support or not. She told the woman, let the man see his kids.
Kids, yeah.
And so you deal with your child support with you and him, but let him see the kids. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. And I think that the more that we can teach each other, because sometimes people connect to just negative energy, right? Oh, girl, you right. He didn't pay, blah, blah, blah. I think the more that we, as the older adults in the community, like we can look at someone younger and say, listen, even if you yourself made that mistake, like, girl, don't go down that road because I did it and it's not a good road to go down, right? Some people would rather see people bump their head against the same wall that they bumped their head against. And I'm one to say, listen, don't do that. It's wrong road, like Portia said, wrong road, right? Just don't do that. And some people and some females, they like to act like, oh, the man is so terrible now. They like to act like the man is a mass murderer. You done lay down with this man, had a baby with this man, and now all of a sudden, because you don't want him to see his kids, he's like this mass murderer. Like, stop. Like, let the man see the kids. Yes. Come on. Who? Let me see who said that. Right. Right. Yes. Don't keep the children from a loving father. That's just wrong. It's just wrong. It's just wrong.
I've got an
We need a
unpopular
sugar
opinion.
mama doll for Christmas. Did you see that, Diva?
No, wait.
Oh my goodness.
With Vanessa.
Yes, Vanessa. Listen, you know what, Vanessa? Here we be helping people come up with some business ideas. We done help Candace with the what do we call it?
Triangle.
Triangle, okay. That's for Candace from Real Housewives of Potomac. We also tried to help Candace and Ashley, saying they should make a song together. Martel and Melody need to write the co-parenting book. I promise you, it would be the best thing ever. And you're right, we need a sugar mama doll. I'm telling you,
look, and we wrote Cecil and Simone's marriage book too. Sure.
Did we? Don't. We doing
big
the
title and everything.
We doing big things over here. But listen, guys, this was a great conversation. I love when we can talk about these reality shows, but then we can bring it back to real life and we can help each other out. I'll say my final words and I'll go around and get everybody else's final words. I will say from this episode, we definitely got that if you have someone that's going through any illness, support them in any way you can. And sometimes you can't support with time, because I know, like, in this crazy world, we're all pressed for time. But even if you send them a card, nobody wants to get back to like the old way. Everybody wants to text and all that. That's nice, but go get a card and handwrite in it. Go get a letter. You be surprised how these little things really help and touch the people, or whatever the case may be, right? So do that. The other thing I want to get from this episode is forgiveness. And forgiveness doesn't mean, because y'all helped me out, okay? I'm sorry, Martell. Again, I tried to help you. But forgiveness doesn't mean that you got to get back with the person. But I think Melody has done a full circle, and she's done it in a short amount of time. And for real, I'm giving it up to Melody, because you're doing the darn thing with this co-parenting, girl, and raising them kids. And I love you for it. And I love watching you do this. And my last give it up is to Kimmy and Maurice. I commend y'all. I'm here for y'all, and I'm praying for y'all. And Maurice, you're getting the Husband of the Year award. I'm giving it to you, because you're doing the darn thing. Your haircut, we questioning it, because we still got to question things over here. But we love what you did with the Clippers, okay? And that and how Kimmy let you in. So sometimes too, the person that's going through it, you do need them to let you in so that you can help. And she let him in. And I appreciate it and love it. Roy, what's your final words?
Oh, final words. Oh my gosh. I just feel like what we've been saying this whole episode in the last 3 episodes. This is Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Yeah.
I think that the producers really came back and we got some goodness out of this second part of this season. Oh, can you hear me?
No, I was saying, I'm sorry, they're listening to us.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yes. They really gave us some real life reality TV. This is what I'm talking about, Carlos King. I feel like earlier this season it was just a little giving me too much Bravo, but this ending has really just been real life, real love, real issues, and it's really just I love that I can sit and reflect on this show. I can really look and see, okay, where in my life can I do better? I think that's one thing that I've really learned from Kimmy and Maurice's situation. Even though I am single and I don't have anyone that is going through something like that, but I wish that I could have been more supportive for my aunt. Just seeing the stuff that Kimmy is doing, Maurice is doing, it just really has made me reflect. So I love the reflection. I love that we are trying to get back on better standings. I think Tisha and Mel ended this episode in a good place. They were
Yes.
able to sit down and have a conversation and really kind of just mend fences, if we may, because you could
Yeah.
still see that the tension was there at the beginning of this episode. And so it was good that we were able to come back, make amends, and hopefully close this season out in a better place. I love that even Martell and Marsau were able to have a man-to-man conversation. Granted, I feel like they're always kind of up and down, but it's good to see that they are still able to, look back on their relationship and see how far they've come and still, make amends and see if we can push this thing into season 5. So great episode, like you said, Diva. The love, the support, it's just it was awesome. This is Love and Marriage Huntsville, and I am actually excited for another season of this. I really, really am, because it's giving what it's supposed to give.
100%. I'm coming to you, Robin, but Lorraine, thank you for this comment here. Yes, Diva, the panel was really good tonight. Yes, thank you to all of y'all. Thank you to all of the people who were brave enough to share their personal stories with us. We truly appreciate all of you. We listened and laughed. Thank you, Lorraine. And I totally agree with you. She said, laughed and learn. I see the comment underneath, laughed and learn. So thank you. And yes, because, again, I heard this person say that once you share your story, you can't get it back. So it's nice when you share your story and people connect with it and, they appreciate it and they don't just tumble around with your story. So, Lorraine, thank you for that. And I agree with you. Yes, boy, yeah, I could use a box of triangles. Wait, Leslie said triangles. We named it and everything. Robin,
We got to do
what's
that
your final?
tutorial class, Diva.
I know we do because I'm always messing mine up. We're gonna do it one day, I promise you. Robin, what's your final words?
My final words are centered around support. I want to piggyback on what you said, Diva, about offering support to people. You can, yes, send a card or make a phone call. But one thing that was very helpful to me is when I have been where I know I want to support people, there are probably 3 people in my life that I ever say, if there's anything I can do, let me know, because those are the people who know me the best and know what I can do. But I always make it a point when I want to do something for someone, I'll say, Diva, I understand that you're going through this. If it's okay, would you like for me to make phone calls for you? Can I make you a meal? I'm very clear about what it is I can offer, because very often people don't know what the parameters are if they aren't really, really close to you. So that's the first thing.
That's good.
And the other thing about support I want to offer is a lot of what we've talked about is centered around illness and disease. And people who are going through illness, disease, not only themselves or with their loved ones, we sometimes we, as their friends or family members, become hyper focused on their illness or their disease. And I think it's really important that we take stock and note of it, but don't let that take over your relationship. Don't let that substitute the relationship that you have with people. It cannot be just about the disease, because then that diminishes the person who might be going through something and being seen as just your disease or your illness. So those are my thoughts.
Thank you, Robin, for that. I totally appreciate that. And to connect to what you're saying is, I had a cousin. Again, this darn C thing is brutal, right? Younger than me. But anyway, she didn't tell many people because she didn't want a certain things, and I got it right. But I can't swim, and I'm actually going to go learn how to swim next year, right? But and water petrifies me, like I to the point where sometimes I would have dreams about just drowning, and I don't even freaking know why, right? But yeah, water scares me because I can't freaking swim. But she was like, you gotta go on. She used to ask me before she got sick. She was like, go on a cruise with me. I said, oh no, go on a cruise. Get out of here. I ain't gonna be drowning, right? But when she got sick and she asked me, right away I said, yes, I'm gonna go, right? And ever since then, I've probably been on 5 or 6 cruises. The only thing that stopped me was when the pandemic came, right? But that was my support to her. And not for 1 minute while we was together, or even when I was meeting her to go with her to treatments, right? We never really talked about it. Like, I was just there, and we lived life as normal, even though we was going through it together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I didn't, in anything I wanted to do when I was on that cruise, I didn't think, oh, can you do it because of whatever the case may be or whatever. I was like, let's go, meet me on the deck. We about to do this, that, the other. And we had the best time ever. So you're right. A lot of times we don't know how to support, and we don't know what to say. A lot of times, you know what I don't know what to say either, is when somebody passes away. Like, you just don't never know what words to say. And so what I learned is, but I went to a lot of therapy. What I learned was the therapist said, tell me, it's like, it's okay not to know what to say. You could just be there and not say nothing. And so now a lot of times I'll be there, I give you a hug, and I won't say nothing, like, if I don't know what to say, right? But your presence sometimes, it just helps the people, also. But H, your final word.
The episode was interesting in the fact that it actually showed an aspect of real life with the cancer issue. It showed something that affects a lot of people. So that was good. I'm gonna pray for Maurice and just hope to God that his Scott genes don't kick in, or or keep my fingers crossed that Martell doesn't take him to Atlanta. And when it comes to Melody and Martell, I have no sympathy for Martell. He done what he did to himself. And unpopular opinion, in my opinion, Melody would be justified in keeping the kids from him.
Oh, he's a good dad.
No. You can't expose a new baby to an unknown disease and then call yourself a good father.
Wait, maybe I'm confused what you're saying by that.
Don't forget, Sugar Mama was newly born when the pandemic was about, and he was still going out.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're going out against government advice to do what? With
Except you're trying to punish him for something that never happened. You're punishing him for something that doesn't exist. We have not seen any evidence of him being other than a good, caring, responsive, and responsible parent. He has a good relationship with all his children. And if when Sugar Mama was first born, he may or may not have, he could possibly have exposed her to something. He didn't. So since it didn't happen, I say let's address him from where we are now.
Yeah.
Well. No. At the end of the day, if he can treat Melody like that as a grown adult, then how would he treat his children as a person who has power and responsibility over them? No.
He wasn't responsible for bringing the melody into existence. He didn't bring her into this world. He did those.
No,
four.
I'm not. Yes, yes, he brought the children into the world, but if he can treat a grown person like that, then how would he not manipulate his own children?
Let's wait and see until they're grown up and see if he treats them like that. But right now, they're children.
Oh,
We're seeing,
that's fair enough.
I'm defending Martell. I'm defending Martell. Yes. Yes, I am.
You know what? You know what we have to say, H. Here's the thing. None of us are perfect, right? So if we all would judge by our actions and our kids cannot be in our life because of our actions, I don't think any of us would be capable of raising our kids, right? We all kind of fall short. I just think that what we see in those kids is it's a testament to both Melody and Martell.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think that, Martell, because Melody was, just the one kind of doing most of the business things, he was, with the kids a lot. Because I don't know, when they was together, I'm not even sure what Martell was doing work-wise, and I'm not trying to shade him. So I think Melody was the one pulling in all the cash all along. And I think that was part of Martell's struggle initially when they broke up. Because remember, Martell, I think, spoke about filing for bankruptcy. I think that Martell recovery came when he got that wine and wrote the book and some other stuff. But initially, what we saw with Martell and his finances,
he was staying with his mama.
Yeah. And he was struggling. He was like actually the reverse. What normally happens to females when they get divorced, that's what we saw with Martell. But to get back to the kids, I'm a firm believer that unless one of the people in the relationship is a mass murderer, drugged out, cracked out, or whatever, they deserve to have a part of the kid's life. I think it's unfair for any parent to manipulate and talk about the kids talk about the other parent to the kids, or try to pull the kids' affection away, or make the kids make a decision on who they're going to have their alliance to. So on that note, I'm just saying that Melody and Martell is doing a good job, and you can be a good father and a bad spouse or a bad husband. I don't think the two of them are equal, so to speak. I know plenty of men that love their kids to death, but they can't stand the person they have the kids with, and vice versa. But I want to close out, so I want to move the curves. Curves, what's your final words?
Like I said earlier, I love that this episode gave us, relationships relating and all of the in between, the before, the after, and everything. I'm going to co-sign a little bit. Hey, let's kick some dust. I mean, I know you got to go, Diva, but hey, I agree with what H just said. If Martell was such a thoughtful father, he would not have destroyed his family. If he was such a thoughtful father, he would not have made his children have to live in basically single parent households because of his actions and his insecurities. Unfortunately, he did have the opportunity to do something else for 5 years and didn't do it. She's right. He did put his babies and his wife in jeopardy by going out during the demic and getting his demic on. It was wrong. And I feel like that speaks volumes to who he is. He looks sorry now, but is he sorry now?
No,
because
he is sorry.
This year we saw the interactions on social media that he was willing to put the same children that we are saying that he loves so much, he was willing to use them as pawns on social media. He videotaped his children's responses to interrogation questions about his ex-wife. That was not cool. And then he posted it on social media, you guys. That was this year. We're in what? November. So like, what was that? August that happened? IRL. So I feel like, yeah, he got up and he had to walk away in that scene. And he tugs at my heart. He's a charming snake. He's a charming snake. Okay. Because he tugs at my heart. And he makes you have a split second of hope and glimmer that, oh my God, could he be right? Could there be hope for this person? And then by next week, we're going to see some more stuff that Martell does, or by the end of the episode, how he's inviting Letitia and Homeboy, and he knows that Melody doesn't want to bother with them. He knows for a fact the number one thing on her agenda is her peace of mind, and he brought the two people that can bring her out of that to her peaceful vacation. But he's a good person. Okay.
Well, I don't think we were saying that he's a good person. I think that we were saying, as far as his fathership and him being a dad, I feel like the children speak
even
testament
that,
of that.
To bring those
he
people,
is a good dad.
To bring people around the mother who do not like the mother on her family trip speaks volumes to his character and his need to try and dampen her state of mind. That's what he's missing out on also, is the opportunity to get in her head before she goes on stage. It's the opportunity to be like, oh, you think you selling 7th Avenue? You think your skin look good? I mean, I could just like imagine the things that he used to say to her to get under her skin and into her head and try to throw her off her game that she had to endure. We saw many of the things she had to endure. And the gaslighting techniques, no, I didn't just say that, and we heard him just say it. I mean, the list goes on. But in this episode, he showed us again, Martell Holt, spelled Hoelt. Martell Holt showed us again in this scene that he cares little about the mental state of mind for his mother of 4. He'd rather play games with her and her state of mind that he knows she values. Hey, I have to co-sign with H, and Kimmy and Maurice were great, showing us all of that stuff, and that's why we love and Marriage Huntsville. But that I don't think any good can come of Martell until he does some deep work, until we can go 6 months without Martell. Yeah, it's going to have to be at least 6 months without Martell speaking negatively about Melody or anything like that, or doing some backwards, cross-eyed S to her, like inviting her enemies to her sanctuary. You know what I'm saying? When we can.
But Curse, was that not giving production to you though? Was that not giving production to you though?
No, I don't know. No, see, and that's the other thing. He puts value on the wrong thing. He put value on outside pussy and ruined his family. He's putting value on production at the cost of his freshly ex-wife's peace of mind. Then that's the wrong thing. I mean, he got to get his priorities straight.
So here's the thing, right? Because it's 2 hours and 13 minutes. I'm going to say that maybe one of our trending topics is going to have to be kind of focused around this subject. He definitely has done his dirt, but I'm going to put that aside for a minute and say that, so all of that, we're going to say he doesn't deserve to be part of his kid's life. And then someone said he should have supervised visits. What did he do? What did he do, though, that the visits have to be supervised?
He's manipulative. And as a parent, you are in not just a position of responsibility, you're also in a position of power. Near enough the same position of power he was in as a husband. As a husband, he had a wife. It was his job to nurture her, protect her, and he did his best to break her down so that she would run to his rules. He would do the same thing to his children. It's okay, Diva. I can see you coming around.
we're gonna have to come. Okay, so Sheila, what's your final words?
I hear what everybody is saying with Montel. However, him being a father
Mm-hmm.
and him being a cheater is two different things.
Mm-hmm.
You have to allow him to father his kids. It's unfortunate that he destroyed the marriage and the
Mm-hmm.
bond that they saw that their parents had. He did that. But that doesn't mean he does not deserve to see his children. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean that he's going to manipulate his children. People forget that you're intimate with your partner, not with your children. His
True.
level of loving his children is something totally different than him loving and mistreating his wife.
Can I
Mm-hmm.
just interject? What about how he tried to get full custody of the children from Melody?
Well,
But
that's
How
see,
is that
because he was
benefiting the
being
children?
bitter.
How is
He was
that
yes,
benefiting the
no, no,
yes,
children?
no, no. You have to understand he was in a bitter place.
yep.
I'm not saying he moved in the best way at all. He was bitter. He was bitter because he messed up. I'm not a fan of his. I'm just calling it for what I see, my perspective.
Mm-hmm.
He was bitter, and this is why he did all those things. But beyond that, right now, they are trying to co-parent. And that's the biggest mistake a lot of people make when they have children and the relationship break up. They use the children as pawns. That is the worst
Yeah,
thing you can do to a child, to do that to them.
yeah.
On a different note, as far as Kimmy and Maurice, um, my heart is totally with them because
Mm-hmm.
I'm living that right now. And I survive knowing that my husband is good. His spirits are good. He he still managed to spoil me even in his illness.
Aw.
So, and because he is not his illness, as Robin stated, and he lives by that. If,
Mm-hmm.
like I tell people, if you don't know, you wouldn't know because even though he has retired, he still does what he does. As far as my husband, my mate, my best friend, um, he's still there 110%. I can count on him. Um, he does the laundry, the little stuff that bothers people about things that they do. I used to hate the way he folded the towels because he folded four quarters. I didn't fold my towels like that, and I come to realize he's doing the laundry. So what? Unfold them and fold them right. And it got to the point that he would bring me the towels after he still would fold them, but he would bring them to me because he knew that I was unfolding them and putting them in the linen closet the way I wanted them. So it's little things like that that
Right.
you have to realize when someone is ill and you are their support. You have to allow them to live in their truth. And his
Mhm.
truth is, like I said, he's not dying from it, he's living with it. And he keeps me strong by his strong will. And he he enjoys listening to the podcast that we
Oh.
both started listening to during the pandemic, Sherelle's World and all of that. He enjoys. He sometimes he'll zone out, like he fell asleep during it, but he's still holding my hand.
Oh.
I those are the moments that are important to me. And the scene with Kimmy and Maurice, he Gen I can't get he
Don't worry, I
genuinely
get some more
loves
words
her.
too.
He loves her. He doesn't care about the intimacy. That was the
Mm-hmm.
storyline. He loves her as I love my husband. I the worst thing that you can The worst thing is watching the person that you love and deteriorate right in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
And because I live in this reality with him that he is fine, there's times I may pass him and look and realize, like, oh my gosh. And then I come back into his reality and not let myself get into bringing myself down because of it. But I will tell you this, and anyone who is a caregiver, who is a maid, or is themselves dealing with issues, medical issues, be strong, smile, enjoy your life. Don't
Mm-hmm.
harp on it. Don't bring your spirit
Mm-hmm.
down because of it. But your strength is what is going to get you through. Um, what Just be strong and still laugh, still smile, because we have many days that we just laugh about different things, and that's what gets us through. So I won't say any more, but I thank you guys for listening. I never
Thank
said
you.
anything about it, but I strength and laughter and joy is the key to success of everything you
Definitely.
do in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know
Bless
what,
your heart.
Sheila? I want to say thank you again. I might have said this before, but I want to say it again. Me starting this channel was something I never even knew I needed. And I appreciate everyone that comes on here. I appreciate the sharing. I appreciate the laughs. But I really appreciate these moments where we never know who we're helping, right? That when we share these stories, and you just feel like you get to know everybody that comes up, especially when we get to see our regulars. So, Sheila, I mean, thank you for feeling like you can share with us over here your story. Um, and I commend you. And I really feel like even when a story is told, if it helps one person, that's one more person in this world that we touched and we was able to help. And you said something really important, right? It's like cherish every moment, so to speak, right? Because that was matters. And I want to end by saying this. I get everything that Martell has done. And a lot of stuff that when it comes out my mouth is because I've been there, done that, and I had some experience with it.
Hmm.
And, you know, I will say this. I went through a tumultuous time when the demise came of my relationship, with my son's father, right? But I will say this, is your kid too. It ain't got nothing to do with the kid. See your kid. Um, and just because whatever, even there was a lot that went on, and all I could say was I didn't agree with 99.9% of it. But I had to tuck it up to say, like, you know what? Let God deal with him and whatever it is he's doing and saying. But I'm not going to stop him from seeing his kid because that's going to hurt my son more than anything. It's his dad. So, any advice I could give to anyone, like I said, unless the person is a mass murderer, strung out on drugs or alcohol or crack or something, um, it's your dad. That's who I chose. So go ahead over there with the person I chose to lay down with and created you with, and go see him. And
Mhm.
so, yes, Martell has done a lot wrong, but when it's a demise of a relationship in a couple, you're going to go through that ugly period. It's going to be darn near bitter ugly. But and it's going to be some stuff that's done out of the bitterness and the hate. Like, and Martell had the nerve. He cheated, but he was pretty much pissed to think that Melody was actually going to be with somebody else but him. He drilled the kids, but there's a lot of people when they break up. There's one side that will drill the kids, like what happened, who when you was over there, what did you eat, who was there, this, that, and the other. It's dead wrong. But so I'm not excusing by any means what he has done. I'm just saying that we can't get time back. And you never know what can happen to people. And you may be holding this child back. And then what if something happens to that parent that you're holding the child back from? And now that time cannot be replaced. Sometimes if this is what you believe in, you got to pray and say, God, you fix it. And I'm going to try my best to, stay out of this and let the children see the kids. I don't. He has done some mental things and maybe some psychological things, but I don't think the core of him is that he hates his kids. And yes, I can agree that if you really cared on a high level that you wouldn't have did this, but there's so many people that do stuff when they're living with their kids and still married that is just as harmful and as hurtful as anything that Martell could have did not do. So I like to close this out by saying thank you to everybody. Thank you for sharing. Sheila, my heart and my prayers are with you. Y'all got this. Yes, yes. And you helped somebody tonight. I promise you, you did. And that's it. I don't want to even make no more stuff up. I love you guys. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I'm probably going to do a trending topics. Thanks for being here. Sorry I sent the messed up link, but I think whoever caught on to the link, this is who was supposed to be up here tonight. Love you guys. Love you guys much.
Love you
Good
too.
night. Good morning.
Did you hear about the arrest, Diva?
Huh?
Did you hear about the arrest?
With Chinko?
I seen that scroll past. What happened?
Yes, they arrested the Deja Nay girl. She's in custody.
Shut the front door.
Yes. Yeah, she was arrested last night.
Praise God. Praise God, because that was the worst, most disgusting story known to mankind.
Yes.
Thank you for that. That is great news. Vanessa, thank you for the super chat. I'll see you tomorrow night. I'm going to go look this up. She's arrested.
Yes.
Amen. All right, guys. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Love you all. Bye-bye.
Love you too. Bye.
Peace.